We are not letting you in our darkest hour, because my darkest hour feels like right now. Well, anyway, besides my wibbling and funny stuff, damn, what else I should say? Sparks! Basically the Transformers' souls, as far as I can tell, but they are a lot more versatile, apparently. You know, I don't really mess with that kind of thing, so Sparks, them being souls, is about as much as I know about them. Other than
Basically, like, one of the more interesting ways I put it is the idea that Cybertronians are not wholly robotic, but instead actually hybrid mechanical energy beings.
I mean, that wouldn't be the strangest thing, considering Primus, their god, is basically a planet that somehow created them.
Meanwhile, Imperius Delirious viewed them as, they're just energy beings sock puppeting robot bodies.
Who's Imperius Delirious?
Um, it's a long story, and there's probably the basics on it.
Probably. If you want to tell me who the heck that is down below in the comments, go ahead.
Transformers aren't just machines. They're living beings with thinking minds and feeling hearts, possessing cybernetic souls that persist after their physical bodies die. This episode, we're looking at that mysterious spark of life that exists in all Cybertronians and makes them more than just robots. These are the basics of...
You could say it makes them more than meets the eye?
Indeed.
Anyway, besides me making that dumb joke, we'll head into this, and yeah, Sparks. I'm very curious what he will actually have to say about this.
Sparks.
Okay.
Every Transformer has a spark, a sphere of energy held in a special chamber inside them that serves as their heart and soul, providing the mystical life force that animates their body and mind and makes them truly alive, able to think and feel for themselves. The concept of the spark was introduced in 1996's Beast Wars cartoon.
Really?
And ever since then, they've been a universally accepted part of Transformers lore, featured in every...
had was a mention of a laser core. And the comics tied the Transformers, the Cybertronians' life to their brain module. Since then, it's been...
I thought it first came up when wasn't Starscream killed and was able to possess bodies, and it's something to do with their spark.
Back then he was just a ghost.
Oh.
Yeah, nowadays laser core is generally considered the housing for the spark, and some versions indicate that that both the brain module and the spark are major organs.
I mean, it could be less. This is less a major organ in their very soul, but you know, it's just me.
I feel that when you can interact with it and examine it from a biology perspective, it becomes an organ.
I'm not sure they can examine it by a biology perspective.
They do.
Oh my god, let's just go.
Subsequent series, comics, cartoons, movies, games, and much more as the core of Cybertronian life. In that time, they've come to typically be depicted as tiny fragments of the essence of the Transformers' god, Primus, the cosmic being who created the Cybertronian race, composed of a rarefied form of Primus's living energy, Energon.
They're also fragments of them.
The means by which Transformers are imbued with their sparks vary, but usually involve one of several ancient life-giving Cybertronian artifacts that channel them into the world. In a natural Transformer birth, a spark is released directly into the fabric of Cybertron, and the metal of the planet then forms into a body around it, the appearance of which is determined by genetic instructions within the spark itself.
Yes.
It's also possible to implant a spark into a pre-built body.
Yeah, I've seen this happen before, when, a little bit from the Combaticons, I think, or was it the Aerial Bots? I don't remember.
Both, actually? It's like the Aerial Bots, the bodies were pre-built, and Optimus requested Vector Sigma, fill them with life. Also, the Stunticons happened the same way. The Combaticons, Starscream stole their personality components, which probably contained their sparks, and shoved them into random destroyed military vehicles.
This also reminds me of one thing where Starscream was making clones of himself in animated, where he's just taking little bits for some reason he had of the Allspark that was shoved in his head and just, which is extremely dangerous. I'm surprised he was willing to do that, and putting them into bodies of Seekers.
Fun fact, we don't know if any, well, canonically, they all survived the Allspark being reconstituted somehow.
That's, huh.
Or even into a normal machine or other object, which will be instantly reformatted into a transformer by the infusion of life. Check out the basics on protoforms for a more detailed look at how transformer bodies are made.
I'll eventually need to look at that.
Sparks are fragile. They can't survive outside a transformer's body for long unless contained in some kind of special storage medium.
That I didn't know.
And if a bot is damaged to the point that they can no longer safely contain their spark, then it'll be extinguished and the transformer will die. However, it is possible to extract a spark before the point of death and transfer it into a new body, ensuring the bot will live on.
That I've seen.
Direct injury to the spark itself, though, is almost always fatal. When a spark is extinguished, it departs the physical world, taking with it all the memories the transformer amassed in life, and reunites with the primal wellspring from which it came, a sort of extra-dimensional
trilogy. Oh, Devastator only has one spark. No, the fuck he doesn't.
That is kind of weird, considering he's made out of like 5 different...
6.
I know. I keep forgetting that there's an extra one in there. But yeah.
It's like, God, they just didn't give a shit about combiners and just treated them like, oh, big Cybertronian.
Yeah, they were going off more of what the Energon show seemed to do, which is make them into, the parts are just the parts. And the big robot is...
half of them have no personality whatsoever because they never even got online bios put up.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. It's basically just a central torso and 4 things that may as well be drones.
Transformer afterlife, where it becomes part of a vast collective consciousness made up of the knowledge and experience of every spark that's ever lived. It's rare, but it is possible to bring a dead transformer back to life if their spark can be recovered from this afterlife realm.
Optimus Prime.
But of course, it wasn't always this way. Before Beast Wars introduced sparks, older Transformers media took a few different approaches to the inner workings of Cybertronian life. Both the Marvel comic book and the original
Sparks.
Transformers cartoon
Oh yeah, the
depicted a
Dinobots.
Transformers brain as their most essential component, containing the
Yeah, when they made the first Dinobots, I remember. For those who don't know, over on the Patreon, we watched this with Fable. I did see this part where they were making the Dinobots and they were extremely dumb until they gave them better brain components. While they were still kind of dumb, they were a lot smarter now.
As the saying goes, robot dinosaurs could be useful.
Oh my god.
Programming that made up their mind. In the comic, these components were named brain modules. The only thing that could infuse these tiny clusters of microchips with a living personality was the ancient talisman, the Matrix, which contained the life-giving power of the god of light, Primus. In the cartoon, on the other hand, the supercomputer Vector Sigma was credited with programming all Transformers with their personalities.
Cool.
It was said that the computer was the only thing capable of doing this, but the series would contradict this several times, when the Dinobots, the Technobots, and Trypticon were all created without its use. Two significant...
Isn't Trypticon basically just Godzilla as a Transformer?
Yeah, it varies. A few of them have, actually have quite a bit of self-loathing complexes.
That's interesting. I know.
Well, they understand that they're a weapon of war and have no existence beyond that, and like half the G1 and Trypticon incarnations fucking hate that.
Didn't know that. But anyway.
Vital components were mentioned in the cartoon. The brain-like personality component, containing a transformer's mind, and the laser core, a vital organ that, when extinguished, meant the transformer's death. Primus wasn't part of the cartoon story, and the show's version of the Matrix had no life-giving powers. Instead, it was depicted as the resting place of the life forces of dead Autobot leaders, whose combined memories formed a vast repository of wisdom from across the ages.
Like the avatars.
But then came Beast Wars, which, in contrast to the very mechanical ideas of brain modules and personality components, introduced sparks as metaphysical, supernatural things, akin to a human soul. Sparks prominently factored into many Beast Wars storylines, and starting in 1999, were even incorporated into the toy line, with figures sporting translucent coloured spark crystals that showcased their faction symbols, a gimmick that would be revisited in several subsequent toy lines. Now, Beast Wars didn't explain how Transformers received their sparks, but it did establish that they came from something called the Matrix. Not an object, as in the original cartoon and comic, but a place, an other dimensional realm to which they returned when they died. This was expanded on in the 1999 sequel series, Beast Machines, which further revealed that this Matrix was a vast collective consciousness of which individual sparks were just tiny fragments. An all-spark, made up of the shared knowledge and experience of every spark that had ever lived.
So this is where the name Allspark came from? Really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was first showed up in the movies.
No, that's the first time it was assigned to an object.
Oh. Huh. I thought for sure it would have originally come from the movies, but alright.
Or ever would. Putting it simply, the Matrix was Transformer heaven.
We are all but fragments of the Matrix, which releases each of us in order to struggle and grow and evolve. So when we return to it, it may grow and evolve. Thus do we serve the Matrix, not just by battling, but also by acquiring knowledge, wisdom, and experiencing love.
That's how a spark works!
Now, a lot of the ideas these two shows put forth surrounding sparks were based on ideas from older media. For instance, they used the term Matrix for a realm that was both the source of life, like the comics Matrix, and the resting place of the souls of the dead, like the cartoons Matrix.
Yeah.
They showed that this source of all life could be accessed by Vector Sigma, and the very idea of a place where all Transformer spirits were united as one was directly linked to the Autobot mantra from 1986's The Transformers the Movie.
Till all are one.
Until that day, till all are one.
For the longest time, I didn't know what that meant. Till all are one.
Okay, so that actually goes back to the original draft of the movie in a bit more detail. Basically,
Really?
the original intention was for, rather than the Matrix being passed, it would in fact be life sparks. Eerily reminiscent of the idea of the spark, but closer to a spectral image of who they were in life.
Oh.
And with the idea being that each Autobot leader has the previous life spark merged into them.
So, till all are one means until we are all one single being once again.
Yeah, no. Until the point, I mean, all our lives have faded and we are simply one.
Interesting.
Incidentally, Galvatron's minions were supposed to be made from the life sparks of previous Decepticon leaders that would have been set free during a brawl in the in the morgue.
Huh. Alright.
Anyway, where all are one.
Till all are
Consequently, within a few years, an assortment of media, including stories from
What?
Sorry, that was just his response. Just like,
Official
they pass it off and they just go, what?
It's probably Optimus coming through, but anyway.
Convention BotCon, and Dreamwave Productions comic books built on these connections to introduce a series of retcons, expanding the lore of Sparks to both explain how they came into the world and fully reconcile the concept with the original comic and cartoon. Together, they established that the matrix of which all Sparks were part was, in fact, the life force of Primus himself, and that the life-giving objects from the older series, the Matrix and Vector Sigma, were actually conduits for the power of this realm, through which they could channel Sparks into the world, or allow Transformers to communicate with the spirits in the afterlife. This basic idea of Sparks as pieces of Primus's energy channeled into the world by ancient Cybertronian artifacts has remained the definitive interpretation of the concept ever since.
As far as I know.
While not
far
every
as I
single
know.
series has directly credited Primus as their creator, with some preferring to leave the higher power behind the artifacts as an unspoken mystery, Sparks themselves have been accepted into Transformers canon so completely that even new stories set in the original comic and cartoon universes have retroactively shown Sparks to exist in those continuities, with old terms like laser core and personality component being retconned into simply being the names of larger arrays or units that house the Spark itself.
That makes sense.
Perhaps the most significant addition to this mythos came in the
Yeah, here we
2007
go.
live-action movie,
Before
which
time
introduced
began,
a third life-giving
there
relic.
was
The Bay. Anyway, yeah. The cube for some reason.
the cube.
Oh my god. I just posted, for those who don't know, I looked over to my left and I see a comment.
This thing get a toy? Like, I know it got a Rubik's cube. Was there ever a version that? Well, like, hang on, I need to check.
People down in the comments, tell me whether or not.
Side note: if you ever get the chance, read Twilight's Last Gleaming Woofy. It's a good idea for a story. It's it's the movie timeline of Megatron 1 Mission City, and things kind of go all over the place from there.
I see. Also, Fable just, because I posted I'm starting to post VODs of some of my streams over on YouTube. Fable just posted Mecha's a meanie pants.
That's because you are.
He posted-
Okay.
I am not.
So there was an All-Spark Cube release for the 2007 movie toy line, packaged with some repaints and incinerator,
Oh,
only in the Japanese market.
huh. Alright, then.
Masterpiece Movie Megatron has one.
Oh.
Masterpiece Jazz has one by proxy. It is permanently stuck in the hands of a little Shia LaBeouf figurine.
Of course it is.
And there's a few from the War for Cybertron trilogy packs.
Oh.
Interesting.
Huh.
Ooh,
All right.
USB. We kind of need that.
Anyway.
The All-Spark, named after one of the terms used for the afterlife in Beast Machines. This relic has come to replace the Matrix and Vector Sigma in most modern media as the primary source
I
of
like
new
when all three
Transformer
exist.
Sparks. Normally
What'd you say?
I like it when all three exist.
Yeah, I like having more crazy Cybertronian artifacts because just having one feels weird, if you get my feeling. It's like how in
I
Marvel...
like the idea
Go ahead.
that that Vector Sigma is a conduit to Primus. Well, the Allspark is a physical manifestation of his power, as is the Matrix, and all three are kind of linked in a way. And the Oracle is a shell program on Vector Sigma.
Well, that's
Oh, yeah,
one
the
one.
Allspark's got a magic card.
Oh yeah, there are Transformer magic cards. I wonder if he'll do one on those.
It is just a reskin of Doubling Cube.
I mean, they have a lot of magic cards for Transformers now, apparently. None of them I can have, but you know, they exist.
I've always wanted to build a Grimlock deck, and then I found out Nerf War existed. I want to build a Nerf War deck instead.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, so Nerf War is a spell that was released alongside the Grimlock card. It's not legal, but its shtick is you take a Nerf blaster and you fire till empty at your opponent's library, and they take half a point of damage for every card you knocked off. And
Oh
then we
my
have done the
God.
math, and you could
That's so
it's the right Nerf blaster, like one that holds 6 clips, and the right clips, you can get like 120 shots out of them.
That's so stupid.
Yes, but imagine whipping that out in a tournament and just pulling out your big ass Nerf blaster and just asking, "You feeling lucky?" Hell, you could even miss a few shots. Hit the other player a couple times. Like, oops.
I can see why this isn't tournament legal. Like, like that one Yu-Gi-Oh card I don't remember where if you throw it in, whatever lands on it, it's destroyed.
That's also a Magic card.
Oh, that was a Magic card. Someone told me a
If
Yu-Gi-Oh
you're
card.
thinking of Chaos Blast, which dealt heavy damage to whatever it lands on, and is responsible for the infamous Chaos Confetti incident.
Yeah, I heard about that where they tore it up and just threw it all over.
How much does Nerf War go for? Yeah, no, I think that's fucking brilliant, by the way. Like, obviously, yes, that's bad. Okay, Nerf War, it's only like $18. That's not bad.
For a single card. I mean,
Yeah,
I just sometimes like to
It's
collect
convention
cards.
exclusive, Woofy.
I know.
It's much better than Grimlock, who last I checked was nearly $100.
Anyway, we should probably end this off.
Depicted as residing at the bottom of a huge pit on Cybertron, from which all new life emerges, known as the Well of All Sparks. But still, the Allspark isn't the only method of creating new Transformer life. Others introduced over the years have included the Ember Stone of Quintus Prime, which
Quintus
in 2022's
Prime?
Transformers Earthspark proved able
Pretty
to
sure it's
create
named
new
after the Shattered
Transformers
Glass
out of the matter
equivalent
of the
of the
Earth.
Allspark.
And as new
Alright,
additions,
go back real quick.
Spark proved able to create new Transformers out of the matter of the Earth. And as new additions to Transformers lore have established that the energy of Primus is an exotic version of the Transformers fuel, Energon, some stories have shown that a simple Energon infusion is enough to ignite a spark within a new robot.
Worrying.
Which, if you think about it, provides a retroactive explanation for characters from the original cartoon, like the Dinobots. As the lore surrounding Sparks has grown, they've come to
Also, but like Grimlock got really smart one time, and canonically he used the dark energon that makes up Unicron, that's still flowing Unicron's head, to give life to the Technobots.
Huh, that's weird. Like,
And yeah, I know that's
I
generally
expect
sort of
that.
the reason the Dinobots are like that, is that while they were able to create life, it's very primitive. There's a Japanese story that goes into it where Wheeljack questions Primacron, like, well, since he made Unicron and probably by extension and the Quintessons supposedly made Sparks, and Primacron's best comparison was, so a man makes fire. Would you say, I don't know why I gave him that accent, would you say he created fire, or would you say he brought something into existence that always had the capacity to exist?
Anyway, let's go forward.
to be considered responsible for many aspects of a Transformer's
Yeah.
nature,
Freeman.
the information encoded within them determining a bot's appearance, alternate mode, and special abilities. Some Sparks have more unusual attributes than others. Some give their bearers the genetic potential to combine or triple change. Others are mitotic, able to divide and recombine, allowing a Transformer to split their consciousness across multiple bodies.
Yep.
One rare variant, green in color instead of the usual blue, known as 0.1 percenters for how
I've never
uncommon
heard of
they
this
are,
one.
bestow bots
It's
with
Mighty W.
incredible physical power, while others feature unique mutations that grant Transformers individual superpowers, like
that flashing.
Skywarp's teleportation or Soundwave's
Also, Mighty
mind
W.
reading. Perhaps most famously,
called
Starscream's
Outliers
spark
in the base of
is
the X-Men.
indestructible, a
Oh,
mutation that
yeah.
allows his spirit to
We
survive
talked about
the
this
death
earlier.
of his body as a ghost. Now, as the story of Starscream's ghost helps to illustrate, sparks are often treated as if they contain a Transformer's consciousness. Many
Yeah.
stories have shown that if a spark is extracted from their body, the Transformer's mind will go with it and can be implanted in a new body.
Yep.
But digging
the other
deeper,
hand-
it's not really as simple as that.
Boltman
Even in
got his
human-
head cut off. And he was fucking fine as a decapitated head.
Huh. I remember a time that also Starscream got his head cut off and he was just the head for a bit.
Okay, that one made a bit more sense because the All-Spark fragment was actually in his head. We kind of assume that Bulkhead and Sentinel Sparks are in their fucking bodies.
Anyway.
Human beliefs and philosophies, the soul and the mind aren't always necessarily considered to be the same thing.
Yep.
And that's true for Transformers as well. Their minds, their identities, their personalities, and all their memories are usually depicted as computer data, programmed into and governed by their mechanical brains. Throughout Transformers' history, there are multiple examples of a robot's personality or memories being altered by having this mental data reprogrammed or overwritten. Or in more extreme cases, of a spark being taken from one Transformer and placed in a new body whose brain has been pre-programmed with its own unique identity, resulting in a new robot who considers themselves to be a different person from the one whose spark is giving them life. One of the most dramatic examples of Spark and Mind being depicted as separate things was in 2014's Age of Extinction, in which Megatron was able to resurrect after his death by transplanting his mind into a new body.
I remember seeing this bit.
Fear.
Yeah, I don't... He said you had no spark, that means I have no fear. I'm like, what does that mean?
He didn't say no spark, he explicitly said no soul.
Oh my god.
And it means he then promptly shoved Prime's blade through his chest just to fuck with him.
Oh. Alright then.
I mean, it helped that the chest was a fucking vortex grinder, the equivalent of Devastator's mouth.
Didn't have a spark at all, leaving him a truly soulless
I am
monster.
You have no soul. That is why I have no fear.
But
God, I
if they
hate this
are
movie, but
separate
that's a cool
things,
scene.
then
Oh, there's a lot of like one scene or two that's actually cool in these dumb movies. I'm going to have to rewatch them for Patreon at some point. Yeah.
I saw this opening night, and boy howdy, I regret that. Like, first showing and everything.
why does the mind so often seem to be held within the spark? Such mysteries of life were examined in IDW Publishing's comics, which highlighted how the spark and the brain are intimately linked, to the extent that sufficient damage to either one could cause the other to shut down, but also made clear that even the Transformers don't fully understand the relationship
It's got a
between
mystic
them.
side.
Transformers scientists
I will say that I kind of love that this does have a mystic side. They're like, yeah, well, even we don't fully understand it ourselves.
say
Well, they spent the
that
past 4
information
million
is
years beating the crap out of each other. There's not a lot of time for research.
Funny enough, you're wrong about that, because when medical research in war is when medical research actually proceeds the fastest.
As one of the Scavengers put it, we stopped reaching for the stars 4 million years ago. We needed both hands to beat the crap out of each other.
known to leak between the two, which allows a spark to share the brain's mental data. But really, that's just an attempt to scientifically explain the unexplainable. The truth is, sparks are just as unearthly and unknowable as the intangible concept of the human soul, with properties far beyond the understanding of the material world. All we can say for sure is, sparks are proof that Transformers are far, far more than walking collections of metal and circuits, but rather are, and always have been, more than meets the eye.
I knew he was gonna say it. I
And
knew
those are
it.
the basics on
Yeah.
Sparks, just
Yeah,
one of the
so you
many
did.
unique little mysteries.
That's
I know.
the Wolfenton.
Anyway, if you like more of this stuff and want to see us react to Transformers over on the Patreon, well, if you want to see us react to Transformers Hammer, go head over to the Patreon. It'll be fun for you guys. And yeah. I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe if you want more, because that's what gives us help through the algorithm. And tell us what you want down below. Put more if you want to see these videos faster. And put more. if you definitely want these videos to come out faster. Because that gives me the motivation to do it. Anyway, thank you all so much, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.